Well, yes, here I am back in my kitchen, which can only mean one thing. I'm about to do some cooking. And I made a green chili stew over the weekend. Usually I make it with pork because that's how they do it in New Mexico. But I didn't have any pork, so I had to use beef, which is okay. And I also don't have any hatch or chimayo green chilies. I had to make do with what I had available from the market here. But not bad. It turned out pretty good. And in fact, it was so good that I saved a lot of the broth and started to make pho, which is a Vietnamese dish, of course. A little bit fusion-y, I guess. But I just like to take what I've made in one genre, one avenue, and push it into another. And I'm still on with it. I've finished with the pho. I ate that all yesterday, but I've still got some mushrooms in the gravy, and probably going to add some more green chilies and maybe some potatoes. Don't know. It will just keep going. It's sort of like stone soup in a way. It just never quits. Anyway, let's move into the first phase of the green chili stew. So here's the beauty of a gas stove, is that you can take a pepper, and with good tongs you can hold it over the flame, and what the flame's going to do is it's going to char the outer skin, and yeah, you can see it a little bit there. I'm going to do it this side as well. I'm going to do this for a number of peppers, but I'm just going to show you this one. And what I'm going to do now that it's charred off like this is I'm going to let it cool a little bit so that I can touch it, and then I'm going to remove the outer skin. Let me just do another one whilst we're at it. Now, down on the boulevards in Santa Fe in the autumn, when the green peppers are all ripe and bagged up, and the vendors have their big machines where they char the green peppers, and the air is just redolent with the smell of green peppers. It's wonderful. This is not quite the same. This is not a hatch or a chimayo green chili. This is just whatever I could find at the local supermarket. But there it is. And now I'm going to peel them. I'm not sure whether I can show you. I'll give it a shot in a minute. I'm going to let it cool first. Alright, so this has cooled down to the point where I can touch it, and I'll see if I can do this on camera. Now the skin is easily just taken off, and I'm just going to try to get most of the charred bits away. I don't mind if one or two linger around. They give a nice smoky flavor to the chili, but I'll do the best I can to get the skin off. It's not all that It's not all that complicated. And rather than wasting all your time as I play around with this, I'll just show you one that I've already done. You can see it's now more or less completely free of its skin. And then we're ready to get on with the rest of the green chili stew. So now we start with a chopped up onion. I'm just going to saute it a little bit, just add a little bit of color, not too much. And then I'm going to add some garlic and my meat and the chopped up peppers. Just want to get a little bit of color, not much, on the onions first. Meanwhile, here's my garlic, which is going to go in. I've got 3 very fat cloves, which I've smashed with my cleaver, and now I'm going to peel them and chop them coarsely and add them to the onions. I'm not going to brown the garlic. I'm going to add some stock immediately, and then we're going to go from there. Alright, so here you can see the green pepper, onions and garlic just sauteing gently. I'm now going to add some potato, and then I'm going to add my meat and some stock, and I'm going to simmer for about 30 minutes. Alright, then go with the potatoes. I'm going to just get my meat ready. Normally I would use pork, but I'm using beef this time just because I have some leftover beef. It's going to be kind of the same, not exactly the same, but mostly the same as green chili stew. Alright, so in goes my beef. Now you can see I've already browned it, so I don't have to do that again. I'm just going to toss everything together, and then I'm going to add my broth and my seasonings. It's going to include some fresh cilantro, probably some fresh parsley, which I also found, and then some stock. So let's get to it. Now we're cooking with gas. I've got the cilantro in. Not sure if I'm going to add fresh parsley or not, but I'm going to now just let this simmer on the hob for about 25-30 minutes, something like that. I want to cook the potatoes. I want to cook the beef / pork, if that's what you're using, and then I'm going to thicken a very small amount, depending on how reduced the sauce is, with a little bit of cornstarch or potato starch. So let's just let that do its thing. So I have covered it because I want to make sure that everything gets cooked first, and then I'll uncover and see what happens in the way of reducing. But I want to just make sure the potatoes and the meat cook through properly before I uncover. So now 20 minutes later, we're in the uncovering stage, and I'm just going to toss things about a little bit, mostly because I like messing with things. I don't think there's any reason for doing this. And it's thickening nicely, but I'm probably going to add just a small amount of some kind of starch, cornstarch or potato starch. Potato starch probably, I don't know. Here in Southeast Asia I can get all kinds of thickeners that are used for stir fries and whatnot. But this is a New Mexican dish, and so I should, I suppose, be traditional and use either reduction or flour, but I'm not going to. Okay, secret ingredient time. Green Tabasco. It's not sure if it's New Mexico green chilies, but it's certainly green pepper sauce Good enough. In we go. Now, the claim of the Tabasco company is that it's mild, but I think a lot of people will find it more potent than mild. I'm not really worried because I eat very, very hot things. What I'm concerned about is the green chili pepper taste, aroma, and I think it's looking pretty good. Let me just take a taste. If I can possibly say anything in my videos over and over and over again when I'm cooking, is that when you're making soups and stews, you must taste, 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 and then taste again. Oh, that's going to be wonderful. Right now, I don't think I'm going to add anything else. It's very spicy. Not too spicy, but good enough. And very, very flavorful. The garlic is coming through, the onions, and the green chili. All wonderful. Alright, so let's watch it bubbling away. And I did put some fur in later, and I think probably I'll do another video at some point about my fur. But for right now, please like, please subscribe. Just pretend that you like my videos, and I'll see you next time.